Been here all day. Can you tell me, what you're seeing down there at the scene?
Enormous effort by every member of the community. We had lines 2 blocks long today to give blood. They're right behind me. Are all sorts of special equipment contributed by Lake County, by Kissimmee, by St. Cloud, by Osceola, by virtually every county and city within a 50-mile radius. Everybody's working together on this one, and I feel very proud to be in right now.
Obviously a proud moment to see some of those things happening, but deep sorrow in our community. I mean, even if you've never been to Pulse Orange Avenue, people drive on it every single day. We've been by that club hundreds of times. What can you say about just this senseless act?
This is what I would say. We are the land of the free and the home of the brave. So let's show it. Let's not let our daily lives be interrupted by this senseless act of violence, even though we lost 50 of our brethren last night.
We heard from the president earlier today saying that any federal resources we need here in Orlando, he's making that available to us. What type of information are you getting from your staffers in Washington that is going to help us get through this in the days and weeks coming forward?
Well, this morning I learned that there was some difficulty in communicating with the loved ones of the survivors. They went to the hospital. They wanted to be able to find out the status of those who survived, some of whom were unconscious. And they were told that under federal regulations they weren't allowed to get that information. So we swung into action, and we made sure that we got a policy statement from the Health and Human Services Committee in order to be able to provide that information to people and still comply with the HIPAA regulation. We've also been in touch with the FBI. We'll be talking to the FBI again later on this evening and making sure that whatever the federal government can do, we're already doing, and it's underway. I'm also going to try very hard to get more attention for Orlando as a potential terrorist target. I've been working on that problem for years now, and maybe now we'll make some headway.
Is it frustrating that it takes 50 people lying dead in this nightclub for something that we've, been reporting on for years, and you've been talking about for years, that Orlando has been known as this soft target? What do you think is going to change now?
Well, what I'm hoping that will change is that we'll see more sensible gun laws. When we had the assault weapons ban, not have walked into a Walmart and buy the weapon that he did. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but that weapon fires 700 rounds in less than a minute. I can't think of any recreational use for a weapon like that. He's someone who had been contacted by the FBI in the past. My goodness, why was he allowed to buy that weapon? It's hard to even understand, much less believe.
Do you think there's any way to change policy to remove people permanently from, being able to buy a firearm if they've ever been investigated by the FBI, even if they're cleared?
Well, we might need to go further than that. After Sandy Hook took place and we had a tragedy that was the second worst mass shooting in the United States until this morning, now the third worst mass shooting, 3 states changed their laws to prevent assault weapons from being in the hands of people who might misuse them. Now there's 6 states that have done that, 44 to go. But I think we have to understand that there's no legitimate purpose in a weapon that can shoot 700 times in 1 minute. It's way too easy to kill a lot of people fast in Florida and in America today. We have to change that.
Is this something that has to be done on the state level? Because, as everybody knows, Florida is a red state, very into gun owners' rights. Do you think that Florida would ever actually pass a law like that?
I think gun owners are as horrified as anybody else to see what happened today. The fact that you may enjoy owning a gun, the fact that you may be a hunter or use it for other recreational purposes, doesn't mean that you think that other people should have a weapon that can deliver 700 rounds in less than a minute. That's not a non sequitur. In fact, polls show that most gun owners are in favor of common sense laws like universal background checks that might have stopped the tragedy that we see here today.
Any other final thoughts on this horrific day in Orlando?
Yes. Again, I'm really proud to see how so many people in the community have stepped forward. We've gotten so many calls from people saying, what can I do to help? And that makes me feel. You're welcome.
You just heard live from Congressman Alan Grayson, who is just one of the many, many community leaders here.